uncovered for the rest of the service. We gather here this morning in this place to pay homage to those shipmates who have left this life. We honor them for their service to our nation and to each of us as we serve together aboard the United States ship Inchon. Let us pray. Gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, one in which we've set aside a sacred time to honor shipmates who are now with you. Thank you for their presence in our lives and for the blessings you bestow upon us continually. We humbly ask that you continue to bless and protect this nation and always allow us to strive towards peace in your world in our time. And in your name we pray these things. Amen. I would ask if you would all now please stand and join our little choir up here in singing a very well-known hymn, Amazing Grace. You sing it like you mean it, folks. All right?
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear, the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. The Lord has promised good to me, His word my hope secures. He will my shield and portion be, as long as life endures. Yea, when this flesh and heart shall fail, and mortal life shall cease, I shall possess within the veil a life of joy and peace. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun.
May you be seated?
Thank you for that.
Isaiah chapter 40, verse 1 to 8. Comfort, O comfort my people, says our God. Speak tenderly to Jerusalem and cry to her that she has served her term, that her penalty is paid, that she has received from the Lord's hand double for all her sins. The voice cries out, in the wilderness, prepare the way of the Lord. Make straight in the desert a highway for our God. Every valley shall be lifted up, and every mountain and hill shall be made low. The uneven ground shall become level, and the rough places a plain. Then the glory of the God of the Lord shall be revealed, and all the people shall see it together, for the mouth of the Lord has spoken. A voice says, "Cry out." And I said, "What shall I cry? All people are grass. Their consistency is like the flower of the field. The grass withers, the flower fades. When the breath of the Lord blows upon it, surely the people are grass. The grass withers, the flower fades, but the word of our God will stand forever."
A sailor's prayer. Dear Lord, I'm just a sailor, a protector of our land, a servant called to battle when my country takes a stand. I pray for strength and courage and a heart that will forgive, for peace and understanding in a world for all to live. My family's prayers are with me no matter where I roam. Please listen when I'm lonely and return me safely home. You're up again, Joe.
This is from John chapter 14, verses 1 through 4, 18 through 19, and 25 through 27. Let not your hearts be troubled. Believe in God. Believe also in me. In my Father's house we are many rooms. If it were not so, would I have told you that I go to prepare a place for you? And when I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and will take you to myself, and that where I am you may be also, and you know the way where I am going. I will not leave you desolate. I will come to you yet a little while, and the world will see me no more. But you will see me because I live. You will live also. These things I have spoken to you while I am still with you. But the Counselor, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he will teach you all the things and bring to your remembrance that all that I have said to you. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid.
The comic American writer and humorist Mark Twain wrote, "Patriotism is supporting your country all the time and your government when it deserves it." I think it's safe to say that those of us gathered here this morning can lay claim to the first part. I will not darken or dampen today's service by waxing political. This is certainly and definitely not the place for that. But I will say, and I hope you all agree, that our nation needs all the support it can lay its hands on presently. And organizations such as ours have always made that a priority. I'm sure that each of your shipmates, if you can think for a moment, you can remember when you made supporting this nation your first and foremost priority. I know I did so myself on October the 13th, 1970 in Albany, New York. The man told us to raise our right hands and to repeat after him. And to refresh your memories today, those of you who enlisted, we all said, "I," in our name, "do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to the regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God." Does that bring back memories? I know that some of us, myself included, wondered what we were getting into. And by looking around here this morning, I guess we found out. I came home from active duty 43 years ago last month, right from the quarterdeck of the United States ship Inchon, LPH-12. Had just a couple of brief stops in between. But other than that, it was pretty much a direct trip home. I know that all of you remember your transition to civilian life, and some smoother than others, I'm sure. But I think it's safe to say that we all got back to business as usual, if there's such a thing. But it seems to me that although we fulfilled our obligations and commitments, the oath that we took was for the rest of our lives. Perhaps not the UCMJ piece, but the rest of it. So here we are today, gathered together, United Navy veterans with our loved ones, former shipmates together again, and some for the first time. We're here because our service to our nation meant something. Our lives were changed in a number of ways, and at least one of them permanently. And when we fulfilled the time period we had signed up for, we became veterans. We became part of a group of men and women leading ordinary lives, whatever that is, but who continue to uphold and defend this nation. We might not always agree with what's going on in Washington presently, but we always take a stand. We remember our duty, and we gather to celebrate the opportunity we were given to serve, usually every 18 months. Those of you who've been able to attend these reunions from the beginning have noticed our list of departed shipmates growing steadily. It is, after all, the natural progression of life. But for me, and I'm sure all of you together, it always puts our time together in perspective. Since our last gathering, Nathan Holmes has left us, but we welcome back his family members, Carrie, who have joined us again this year. And we are grateful that Karen Mention and Kathy Kavanaugh are here with us too. But if you will bear with me, I would like to take just a few moments this morning to tell you about another shipmate, DC-2 John J. Cleaver. He served aboard the Inchon in the late 90s when she was out of Ingleside, Texas. Having joined in 1995, he spent 10 years in the Navy. That service involved the war in Kosovo while on the Inchon, a period as a firefighting instructor in Norfolk, setting up a training facility for fire training in Seattle, Washington, and then service aboard the USS Rodney M. Davis, FFG 60. While on board the Rodney M. Davis, he was deployed to Iraq. He was awarded the following honors for his Navy service: Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal for the Gold Star for the second award, Navy Battle E with Silver Reed for 4 or more awards, Kosovo Liberation Medal, Humanitarian Service Medal, the NATO Medal, Joint Meritorious Unit Award, Navy Good Conduct Medal with 2 Bronze Stars for second and third award, the Iraq Campaign Medal, Naval Sea Service Deployment Ribbon with Bronze Stars for second, third, and fourth award, National Defense Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, the Naval Reserve Sea Service Medal, and the Navy Pistol Medal with a Silver E for expert. John then enlisted in the United States Army. And following basic training and training as a convoy commander, he was deployed for his first duty to Kandahar, Afghanistan. He was there for 18 months. And after returning stateside, he completed his training as a paratrooper. In July 2009, Staff Sergeant Cleaver was again deployed to Afghanistan, FOB Apache. And on November 19, 2009, Staff Sergeant John J. Cleaver died from wounds sustained when a suicide car bomber attacked his unit. He was 36 years old. We are tremendously honored and privileged to have John's mother, Gold Star mother, Teresa Cleaver, with us here today and for this reunion. And I would ask you all to please stand and recognize her at this time. On behalf of the United States Inchon Association, I'm certainly a very grateful nation. We thank you for your sacrifice and for your son's exemplary and abundant service. He spent nearly half of his life serving this nation. We are honored that he is one of us, and we are humbled by his accomplishments. Thank you. As we continue with today's ceremony, I would offer up the words of Albert Pike, who was a celebrated soldier, lawyer, and journalist. He said, "What we have done for ourselves alone dies with us. What we have done for others and the world remains, and it is immortal." I would conclude my remarks today by reminding ourselves that although we completed our service a number of years ago, we actually signed up for the long haul. We are patriots. We are veterans of the United States Navy, and we always will remember our own who have left this life. We stand up for all the things that we hold dear, our nation, its leaders, and its flag. May God continue to bless this association and all of our veterans, and may God bless the United States of America. Amen.
Thank you, Lane. I'm going to be reading the names of all departed, known departed USS Inchon shipmates. Once I announce the name, Ian Tuselinski is going to be ringing the bell. Thank you. Thomas Ertz, James Ainsley, Sidney Allen, David Amaro, Charles Earl Atterbury Sr., Charles Ray Badgie, Scott Barnes, Michael Bauman, Angelo Beverly, Patrick Bleakney, Robert Boyle, Herbert Brand, Dale S. Brown, Brent Bouchon, Dewey L. Byford, Edward Carter, Rayford Carter, Benny Casalina, Michael Cash, Thomas Kavanaugh, William Chambers, John James Cleaver, Eugene Cole, Scott Brutus Karachi, Tony Cortez, Andrew Covert, Albert E. Dempsey, Michael Dent, Alfred D. Rosia, Kenneth Dokas, Robert E. Dolan Jr., Thomas Donnelly, Donald Dove, Patrick Dunn, Thomas Ernst, David Ferrari, William Fisher, William Franzen, Mark Fredericks, Rick Gamache, Leighton Gibson, James Gilley, Brian K. Gorman, Richard Green, Roger Guinness, Eugene Hall, John E. Hammock Jr., Edward Higgins, John Higginson, James Hauser, Thomas Humes, Brent Jervey, William Johnson, Michael Kapinkin, Petty Officer Kappenberger, Andy Knott, Remigio Las Dolce, Gerald Looker Jr., Michael R. Lovis, Jeff Loudon, Elton Lowry Jr., David Lundergan, Nathan Mahomes, Kevin Malone, Harry Mandelarius, James Mandingo, Thomas Manigan, Michael Massica, Richard Mason, Edwin P. McLean, Timothy McGrath, Robert Rex McMahon, Jeanette McRae, John McSwain, Albert Rusty Medford, Michael Mention, Joseph Moore, Petty Officer Norton, Edward O'Neill, Gary Osborne, William Ott, Ronnie Palm Jr., Lawrence E. Pardue Jr., John Piper, Bernie Posadas, Philip Pratt, David Quigley, Jeffrey Reyes, William Roberson, Lino Rodriguez, Mark J. Signieri, Anthony Joseph Sandifer, Julie Schnelling, Gerald M. Schroeder, Fred Schultz, John Sheeter, Eugene Chirola Jr., David Shore, Albert Silva, Glenn Robert Cena, Timothy R. Stevens, Edward Stroh, David Struble, Jerry Swofford, Michael Tanner, Alyssa Terry, John K. Thomas, John Thonis, William Tiedemann, Stephen Taego, John Tucker, Richard Tucker, James Valentine, Frederick Vilmar, Robert Benjamin Ward, Kenneth Wessel, Garland White, William R. Westerman, Danny Wilson, Cecil Jack Wine, Richard H. Warden, and Richard W. Yeomans.
Rob Severs.
Rob Severs. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Did not have a moment of silence on all those names. Amen. Would join me in reading the prayer of thanksgiving, be followed by the Lord's Prayer. God of us all, your love never ends, and when all else fails, you still are God. We pray to you for one another in our community, and for all anywhere who mourn with us this day. To those who doubt, give light. To those who are weak, strength. To all who have sinned, mercy, and to all who sorrow, your peace. Keep to in us the love with which we hold one another, and in all our ways we trust you. And to you, with your church on earth and in heaven, we now offer all honor and glory, now and forever. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. I would ask now if you would stand one more time to join in singing, Precious Lord, take my hand.
Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand.
accept the benediction. Once again, we thank you, generous God, for all which you have blessed us, even to this day, for the gift of joy in days of health and strength, and for the gifts of your abiding presence and promise in days of pain and grief. And as we leave this place, we ask that your peace abide and remain with each and every one of us, now and for all our days to come. And we pray this and all such things in your most precious name. Amen. Amen. This concludes our service.